What's good, gamers? Today we're gonna be breaking down one of the hardest heroes in Mobile Legends.
Fanny, the queen of mobility, the assassin with a deadly ability. Feared by everyone who dares to stand in her way, and one of the hardest heroes in this game.
But hey, to make it easier to follow, I've broken it down into three main elements, which we're gonna be talking about in this video. So first, we got the setup, emblem, build, and everything you need to know beforehand. Second, we got the mechanics, cables, energy management, mechanics of how the hero works, which we will do in training camp. And finally, we'll hop into a real game where I'll explain the decision making, the rotation, how to handle counters, and where most people mess up. Additionally, talking about macros and micro, so make sure you stick till the end. I know, you may ask, why should I even listen to this dumbass? So yeah, I have over 4,000 games with this hero across different accounts with roughly around 60% win rates on solo queue. Which yeah, isn't perfect, I agree. But I'm pretty sure it's more than most of you guys are watching. So in this video, I want to teach everything I wish I knew when I first get started with Fanny. So sit back, grab your snacks, and enjoy. Alright, let's start with the basics, emblems and builds. Obviously, you can go either full damage, which I personally prefer, or you can go sustain, which is the second build in the screen you see. Now obviously this is situational, depends on the enemy, but if the enemy is super squishy, I suggest to go full damage because you're just gonna fly over them. So the setup for it is pretty simple. You have to use Assassin Emblem with Rupture, Season Hunter, and Lethal Ignition. This gives you a high damage, which you're gonna need. Now for her build, you absolutely want to go Tough Boots just to counter some CC in the enemies, and I suggest to use Purple Retry as it is one of the best on Fanny. For the first item, of course you want to build the Blade of Heptasis. It gives you so much damage into a Malefic Roar, or you can switch it up into Sea Halberd second item. It depends on the enemy. So yeah, Malefics, Sea Halberd, Hunter Strike, and Rose Gold. Now Rose Gold is for professionals, okay? You can switch this up if you don't feel like you are up there yet into Immortality. But why I say this is for professionals, because you basically need to item swap, which we're not gonna be covering in this video. But hey, if you want me to do a video about that, let me know in the comments down below. For the sustain builds, you wanna go fighter build because this gives you the survivability, the spell womp, everything that you need to stay in the fight, into a Rupture, of course the Festival Blood, and Killing Spree to stay in the fight longer, you know. And for the builds, same as before, Tough Boost with Purple Retry, into a War Axe, into a Malefic, and you can build BOD, following it up with Queen Wings and Oracle. But if the enemy is super strong and they have Burst, you can switch up the BOD into either Anti-Q Race or Athena's Shields. Now this is of course gonna be based on what the enemy has, but I promise you, if you build this, you're never gonna die. So you're gonna face some difficulties to kill enemies, but I'm telling you, you're never gonna die. So again, if the enemy doesn't have much CC and they're squishy, go full damage. I guarantee you it's gonna work. But if they have a lot of CC, a lot of burst, you can go sustain, you know what I'm saying? So it's a balance. I'll leave that up to you to figure it out in your game. Before you even think about playing in Ranked, you should spend some time right here in the training camp, because this is where you will build your muscle memory and learn about a hero. Her skills are pretty simple. The first skill is a Tornado Strike, which deals damage to nearby enemies. Her second skill is the most important skill for her, which shoots out a cable that pulls her through the obstacle you hit. And if there is anything in the way, she will automatically trigger a Tornado Strike on that enemy. And lastly, her ultimate, Cutthroat, where she jumps on an enemy, dealing good damage. For maximum damage, you obviously want to mark your enemy with your second cable, triggering this Tornado Strike. After that, you can go ahead and ultimate the Cutthroat. Right, now we understand the basics. Now let's jump into the fun part where we understand her cables. Two cable movement is where you start to feel the rhythm. Here is how it works. When you shoot your first cable, Fanny will fly directly towards the wall you aimed at. But the moment you fire your second cable, she will automatically adjust her flight path. And instead of just going into a straight line, she will move into the middle of the two cables you connected. And her flying time will be based on the distance between your hero and the end of the cables. Think of it like a V letter. Fanny will fly in between those points that you just connected. Once you understand this step, we can add in the third element, which is the third cable. And here is where a lot of people start to get confused. Let me tell you the easiest way to think about it. When you shoot your third cable, only the last two cables matter. So let's say you shoot out two cables. You shoot out your third cable, only the last two will matter and the first one will be useless. And she will fly through the middle of that new angle, which allows you to control direction and maintain the speed of her flying time. Now, once you understand that only the last two cables matter, the rest becomes really simple. When you start chaining fourth cable or even more, you're just repeating the same rule over and over and over again. Every time you shoot out a new cable, the oldest one gets replaced and Fanny creates a brand new V-shape in between the last two walls you connected. The smoother and the quicker your transition is between each pair of walls, the more fluid your flight will look. So whether it's 4, 5 or even 10 cables, the concept is never changing, it's the same. You'll always be flying between the last two cables. How do we understand her skills? Let's talk about energy management, which is her most important crucial part. Because even though flying with 6, 7 cables sounds fun, the more you use her skills, the more energy it drains. So the energy management is crucial in fight, and I cannot emphasize this enough, it's crucial. So how to not run out of energy in fights? First, don't spam the cables just to try to look cool. If your objective is to win, you need to fly smart. Every time you hit an enemy with the tornado strike, you regain a small amount of energy. So try to optimize your skills. Lastly, don't just fly around the map randomly, because you will never know where the enemy is hiding and where you will need the energy to escape or to engage. But now, let's actually jump into a real gameplay and let's see what we learned in action. Right, let's get started with the first match. As a solo Fanny player, you always want to ban bro. You don't want him either in your team or in your enemies. Seeing the enemy composition, I already knew that this is gonna be a full damage game, because they have Estes, Layla, Cyclops, Novaria and Gatokacha. They don't have any single major counter for Fanny or high CC. Starting the game, you always want to start with the buff on the same side as the turtle. It doesn't matter if it's blue buff, it's red buff, try to always aim towards that, because this will give you the advantage of having your buff already ready when there is a turtle spawning at minute 2. So checking their enemy composition, I know that their roamer is Estes, they don't have any CC, so I'm already checking out and invade positioning. I requested for backup, my teammates ignored me, it is solo. So I went in anyway because I knew that I can 1v2 them even if they are there. And as soon as I've seen an opportunity, I went in with my cables, because as I said, they don't have any CC. So that was an easy first kill. Even though I couldn't get that jungle creep, we are onto a good start. I continued my normal rotation, clearing out the whole bottom jungle. And right now I'm looking for a gank in the bottom lane. I noticed that Layla used flickers, so I was like, fuck this jungle, I'm out of here, I want that kill, you know what I mean? Even though she outplayed me here, I could not afford to die, so I just backed up and continued farming. Turtle is spawning soon, so obviously I need to gather around the turtle. As a jungler, my main objective is to take turtle, take objectives. So even though my team is not here, I was confident that I can sneak in, because as I said, they don't have CC. And luckily it worked out perfectly, because that was a beautiful turtle steal. Expert following up on that kill, and hey, we're just continuing the farming. I noticed Gatokacha was out of position, so I called out to my teammates to attack him, but I didn't see an entry to get there yet. So I was like, well, just invade, take this jungle creep, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to force a fight if you don't see a good entry. However, now on the other hand, this Gatokacha has really nowhere to go, so we just went in 1v3 this guy, and he's dead. What I tried to do here, I tried to invade, which was a huge mistake. I don't even know why did I went in there. I didn't have a vision on Cyclops, so I should have not been doing that. Maybe I just got cookie, which you're not supposed to do. But luckily I survived as I continued my normal rotation. And while I was taking this red buff, I noticed something super important. As you can see, this Cyclops is almost 1 HP. I see that he's moving towards the lethal in the jungle, in the river. So I knew that he was gonna be there. And I went in and surprisingly, yeah, he was there. That was a kill, that was a steal of a lethal, and we continue farming. Simple decisions. When you be paying attention to the map. This is what happens. You always have to be paying attention. Now, obviously, I've seen that Cyclops messed up here. He used his ultimate and I was like, yeah, let's just rush him. Normal thing for Fanny to run out of energy mid-fight. So just be paying attention to that. Don't overcomplicate the process. Don't overdive. If you see that you just can't do it, just go back. This is one of the most common mistakes many Fanny players do. They go in, they dive in under tower, but they don't calculate their energy and they don't have a good management to it. So they'll just run out of energy and you don't even have an energy to do one cable out. And you'll just end up dead. So this is something you really have to keep in mind. Another thing, let's say for example the enemy is invading your jungle. 4 of them are going for your blue buff, you're alone, you're requesting backup, nobody's there. Don't go in. Just don't die for your buff, it's not worth it. Try to invade the enemy jungle in the opposite side if that's a possibility. If not, just go back to farming. And most importantly, don't die to your buff. You can still do plays without your buff, but you cannot do plays while you're dead. So this is something to keep in mind as well. Map awareness is key. Always keep moving that joystick while you're farming, so you know what the enemy has and what they don't have. Obviously, push if you can. This is one of the most important things you need to do in the game. Not kills, not farming, but pushing.
You tag-alongs can't even touch my shadow.
Now here during the turtle fight, I knew that nobody was coming, so I didn't even have to use my retribution. But in the same time, I knew that the enemy buff was up, so I tried to save the retribution for that, but I didn't even need it there. So if you don't have to, don't use it on jungle, because you can use it on fight, which will benefit you much more during team fights. Here I almost died. The SS healed them super well, but you just have to analyze like, okay, that was a really beautiful entry, but hey, you don't have energy, you don't have HP, just go back.
Needlework? Not my thing. Any place is within reach for me.
In a normal situation, this would be really risky, because as you can see, my team is not nearby. Like, yes, Xborg is here, Clint is here, but they are 5. And if you wouldn't be this much ahead, this would be a really bad play. I should have just gone to the jungle of the bottom side, cleared that out, and farm over there. My position here is super risky, but hey, as I said, because we are super far ahead, it doesn't matter in this point. And you're gonna see it in a second. You're gonna see it in a second what I'm talking about. See the SS, I straight went into him and just like that, they're wiped out. It was almost a 1v4. Yes, Xborg helps with the last skill, but overall, if you're fed, you can do this kind of plays. Otherwise, you should have just been farming down in the bottom. Another thing, always when you recall, always think of your next rotation. What is it gonna be? Plan ahead. So, I've seen a bunch of minions down in the bottom. I already knew that, okay, I don't have to rush the jungle. I can just go clear that out and then go back to the jungle anytime I want. Obviously, I try to prioritize farming nearby my allies. Even though there is a jungle in the bottom and my red buff is spawning, I still need to be nearby my teammates, which is super important. You never know when they're gonna be engaging, so you need to be always ready. I tried to do some freestyle here, almost paid the price for it, but luckily I survived with 1 HP. Don't do that. But yeah, I'ma just cut through this game because this was a super easy game, as you guys can see. We just rushed the Lord, and with one push, we managed to finish them. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go into the second game. And let's hope that we're gonna encounter some counter plays or a hard enemy or a strong enemy or something like that. We got the MVP, highest damage, all fun, all good. Enemy was trash. Let's move on. Okay, second game of the day. Obviously banning the Grok again. First picking the Fanny. Now, don't do this, okay? Don't do this. I was just aiming, hoping that I will get some counter picks, okay? This is why I picked first pick. Obviously, you don't want to do that, especially if you're starting out. And lucky for me, straight away, we have one of the biggest counters for Fanny, Kufra. Let's see what we're gonna be doing versus this lineup. They have CC, Kufra, Lancelot, Clint, and Changu. That is a way more decent lineup than the previous one. So let's see what we can cook with this one. Obviously, again, start in the buff on the same side as the turtle, which in this case is the blue buff. Now, I'm aware that Kufra is one of the heroes which is very good and in invading. So I called it out straight away to my teammates, hoping that they will realize. Luckily, Minotaur was zoning him out, so that was an easy blue buff for me. Now, in this scenario, it is no way that I'm gonna be invading their red buff, because they just have the Kufra, so it is just stupid. So let's just take lethal, keep farming in a safe way, possibly, and continue your bottom farm. Finish it and look for fights.
Just a little birdie passing by. Swing.
Now this was a really good entry. I could have gone for Clint, who's alone at the bottom, or three of them was forcing our mid laner to go back. So I made my choice and I went for the three, and it paid off. And look what happened. Boom, boom, just simple map awareness. One of them deleted. I missed one cable here, one cable, and it affected me to not be able to kill the last two because they were 1 HP. I could have killed them, yes, but I rather disengaged. I did not want to die because turtle was spawning, so my duty is to take the turtle, not to dive and kill. I know this Lancelot doesn't have an ultimate yet, so straight away went to him. That's a kill. Even though Kufra is here, he cannot do anything. He's dead. Always look for opportunity to invade if you can. Obviously, this gives you so much advantage. CC is annoying though. And yeah, just clear whatever you can from the enemy jungle. Now I know that the red buff just spawned, so most likely they're gonna be around that bush. I did not know that all of them are here, so my position here is very dangerous. I almost paid the price for it. I still get the jungle, but that was a super risky play. That was a super risky play, especially because my teammate was not around there. I did a full clear as normal. I see that the marksman is having a hard time. Even though we're ahead, the marksman is still having a hard time. Most likely it is because of her positioning. Her positioning was bad. And she calling out for a team, I understand. Okay, it's solo queue. I'll just go help you, you know what I mean? Now, I know that there is search of spawn. I know that this Clint is not alone. I don't know how many with him, but I know that he's not alone. And I got ambushed here straight away. Almost died, but made a play and escaped nicely. Wanted to recall, but I see that my team was fighting, my team was engaging. That was a really beautiful set by Minotaur, and we were able to kill the Lancelot, which will give us a free turtle. Now, bear in mind, I very much wanted to join the fight and leave the turtle. This is looking like a beautiful fight, especially for a Fanny user. Your main objective as jungler is to take objective. So you don't need 2 kills. You know that your team is gonna be handling that. We're just ahead. Just focus on the turtle and keep farming. Keep farming.
can't even touch my shadow. Where are you looking?
That's a miss. It happens, y'all. It happens. It's normal to miss. But obviously you're trying to minimize those mistakes. As you can see, Ixia died once more again. At this point, her positioning is ass, bro. Arlo died 2v1. Arlo is playing really good, so that was a hard position for him. I did not want the enemy to be able to push the top lane. Even though Chango is pushing mid lane, I had to make my choice. I did not want Arlo to lose this turret because he's been doing really good, so I just went in and defended that instead. Kill the CC and get out of there, you know. Continue farming.
I am here. Initiate retreat. Show you how to dance in midair. Your team, I am here.
Now you may ask me, how the fuck am I still full HP? I don't know. I don't know. That was some good management, bro. I don't know how did I do that. I went in literally under 3 towers and still didn't receive any damage. That was not a bad tower died, you know what I'm saying? Here, I want to point out something super important. I called out for the roamer many times. Gather around the turtle. Even the Ixia did. But the tank decided to go for the minions in the middle instead. Now here you can see I aim my cables backward because I know that the Kufra is somewhere in the bushes. So I did not want to get ambushed. The turtle was getting low, so I was trying to prepare my first kill instead. To be able to first kill and retreat. But in the same time, I left my hand from the second skill, of course, because why not? Kufra jumps in. That was a nice ambush from the enemy team. They stole the turtle with 18 HP. Now it doesn't matter. I missed my retreat. I panicked as soon as I seen all of them. I got a lot of stun. That was bad from the team. You know what I'm saying? That was bad from the team. Now that I'm dead, they took the turtle. Minotaur decided though, oh, I made a mistake. I should have been here. Fanny is dead. Whatever. And he just continued, bro. Like, why did you stay there? I don't know. Kufra jumps on them again, and you're gonna be seeing them die. And team at this point is throwing. This is just a normal solo thing. Team gonna be throwing a lot. You just have to try to get the best out of it. And don't blame them. It's not gonna work. If you blame them, they're just gonna be playing even worse. So just try to play around their stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Arlut is doing beautiful job with 1v1ing the CC, so I don't have to be afraid of the top lane. But the bot lane is struggling. This Ixia is dead. Once again, I go try to defend her tower. The only reason I went in because I seen the Kufra disengaged. And I made a beautiful sidestep. He couldn't catch me, and I was able to kill their marksman. I've seen Minotaur do a nice set here again, so I knew that I don't have to recall. I just continue farming because they won't be able to fight back. Obviously, farming is way more important than anything in this game to be able to maintain the lead and do everything. So just keep farming, keep farming. Don't waste time trying to ambush. This is stupid. This is stupid. Just try to have a good map awareness. Kind of know where the enemies are. Try to anticipate, like maybe the jungler is in the blue buff or something like that. Always move around the map and look for entries. I know this Clint is alone, so I was like, yes, I'm half HP, but hey, I'm all in. Let's look in this guy. Beautiful 1v1 kill. Get out of there, and right now it's time to recall. Flut is doing a beautiful job to running these enemies. Nothing fancy there. Gotta kill, continue farming, you know what I'm saying? Clear, full clear. And there is Lord twice right here. Now Kufra is once again, he's there. I know, so I'm trying to back up. I know that he's gonna jump, so that was just a good calculation from my end. Nice retreat, nice taking the Lord. Don't need to engage. Just wait for Lord. Go clear everything, and once you're ready, the Lord is pushing in, then you can go in and fight. Obviously, my main objective is backline. So as you can see, I ignored everything, the CC, the Kufra, and straight away went to the backline. And that was the right choice, obviously. Killed both of them, got out, and no more energy. Lord is pushing in. He's doing a good job of pushing all the sides. And yeah, even though the Lancelot was 1 HP, I could have tried to engage and try to tower dive him, but I still decided to push in the both sides because I feel like pushing is way more important than a kill, you know what I'm saying? Nice sidestep. Laughing at this Kufra, vibing with him, and yeah. So here I want you to see something super important. As you can see, I've seen the Kufra has his bows. So I went in, but straight away put my third cable back. That's what we call a bait. But I've seen the Arlot ulting him and messing his bows, so I just went in again, and we were able to wipe them out here. Finish this game not so long after this. Only the Chango survived, but she has no chance in defending all the lanes because everything is pushing in. Bot lane is pushing in, top lane is pushing in, mid lane is pushing in, and she is by herself. She has one ultimate, but this is all you can do, you know what I'm saying? And just like that, we were able to finish this game, and I don't know, guys. That was a little bit harder game than the first one. I do agree. We had some counter plays, but we just played that extremely good. Not I'm talking about myself, but as a team. The team was good. We played rotation-wise good. Macro was good. Micro was good. Decision-making, I feel like most of the time was good. And just like that, you're able to counter the counters of whatever you're facing. So I don't know if you guys want more of these kind of videos or you want me to do smaller tutorials. I feel like this is the most detailed and in-depth tutorial that you ever gonna be receiving about Fanny especially. I know it was a little bit longer. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you got bored of it in mid-game. But hey, I tried my best to put all the education that I learned about this hero in 4,000 games into one video. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these, and thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.